Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA News.
11:30 this Tuesday, and we're sharing a look at some of the storm video and damage that many North Texans have woken up to today as we saw those storms roll through in the early morning hours, bringing strong winds and quite a bit of rain to North Texas.
We want to show you some of the flooding we're seeing. This is from Robert Boyd in New Fairview, and my goodness, it looks almost like a river. It feels like it has a current there to it. A little bit of rhythm with that water just rushing down the street.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the flash flooding risk that folks face this morning, and here's a live look from our crew monitoring the roadways as well. This is eastbound on I-30 in Arlington, and a little bit clearer than we've seen already, but you do see a little bit of precipitation on that camera lens there. So again, a reminder that we are not out of the woods yet, as we are still looking at severe storm chances for later on today as well.
So many people woke up without power today or lost it early this morning. Here's the Encore power outage map. And right now we're looking at 12,000 outages. More than 600,000 customers are in the dark. And we're already getting reports that it could take several days for crews to get power restored to all of the customers here in North Texas. So we want to say thank you for sticking with us into our second half hour here this midday. I'm Dia Wall.
Yeah, and I'm Mark Istook, and we want to get right to our meteorologist, Mario Oriz, who has had a very busy morning here on WFAA. About 6 o'clock is when things really went on, and boy, you were on the air just from then until, gosh, what was it, 10 o'clock, and you're back at it, Mario.
Yeah, I mean, this has been such an active severe weather season, and this morning was no different. Between 6 and about 6:15 was really when we saw the highest winds across Dallas County, over 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds. We'll get official confirmations from the National Weather Service here in the next 24 hours or so. However, there are no active severe storms in the area. I do want to let you know that, but we do still see those storms across southeast and east Texas, so try to avoid heading in that direction. And we do not have any flash flood warnings in place for Dallas and Tarrant County. In fact, Denton, Collin County now looking at dry conditions, as well as Wise and Parker County. Johnson and Ellis County still under a flash flood warning until noon. We do see a little bit of heavy rainfall in southern middle part of Ellis County. That moderate rainfall continues for Henderson, Van Zant County, along with a flash flood warning until 1:30. Now, all of this, like I mentioned, continues to move towards the southeast, and here's what you can expect between now and about 2 in the afternoon. We'll see the scattered showers really tapering off. It's going to be windy, wind gusts of about 25 to 40 miles per hour behind this line of showers and storms. It'll be dry, breezy between 2 to 7 in the evening, 7 in the evening to about midnight. We'll see these storms rolling in from our west. It's the next round of potential severe weather. I have a look at what that looks like in timing and the threats in just a bit. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at our roadways. Another very busy morning in the traffic department, Stacia.
Most definitely had a number of accidents, and I'm finally starting to get some of those cameras back that were out just because of the wind and the storms that we experienced this morning. So here's a look at Farmers Branch. We've had a lot of problems along 35 and the Farmers Branch and Carrollton area. You can see that traffic is slow moving as it's trying to merge onto those northbound lanes of I-35. This is just north of 635 and I-35, that major interchange there. Here's a look at your map. So you can see you don't have a lot of congestion, but you just have a lot of problematic areas. Good news is I really see people responding when the weather's like this, trying to avoid the roadways if they can. And so I definitely think that helps when it comes to just the number of accidents and problems that we have. As Mario mentioned, that system continues to move east, and we start to dry out slightly, but the majority of your roads are very wet. Still getting reports of high water at I-35 and Royal. Doesn't look that bad. Most of that high water, a lot of it is ponding on the sides of the roadways that gather. 635, still don't have a camera at Miller, but we have one south at Galloway. This area, again, another one that has a lot of issues when we get a lot of rain, just as a result of all the road work there. Now, I don't have a camera at Balch Springs, but we are having lots of reports of problems there around I-20 and 175 as a result of high water. All right, heading out to Love Field, you know, lots of delays at DFW and Love Field. This is pretty close to it right there. We're going to go ahead and join Paige McCoy-Smith, who is joining us live from Dallas Love Field with more on the impact there. Paige?
Hey, looks like things have kind of slowed down here at Love Field. Looks like things are almost back to normal, but don't let that fool you. We're still seeing a lot of delays when it comes to departures. Not so much on the arrival side, but departures in particular, pay attention to. For example, if you were heading to Albuquerque and you had a departure date of 12:40, well, look again. Now it's at 2:45. Also, if you were going to Chicago and your departure time was at 11:55, guess what? That flight has been canceled. And the the reason why these cancellations are occurring have less to do with the different airlines and much more to do with air traffic control. They control it when there are weather issues. They determine which flights are going to be delayed, which flights will be on time, and which flights will be canceled altogether. So those are things that you need to check on, regardless of the different airline that you might be flying. It is really something you need to make sure before you hit the roads and deal with the streets and the traffic that you've been hearing about, that you know exactly when your departure time is going to be, is currently what it is now. Make sure you've got your devices handy. All right, I'll send it back to you, Dia.
All right, thanks for that, Paige. We want to get a look at some of the damage we're seeing across North Texas right now. We have our Cleo Green joining us live from Dallas. And Cleo, you've been out all morning in front of that huge mess behind you off Harry Hines.
Yeah. Honestly, Dia, you know, as I said, a lot of people are stopping. They're driving by, they're stopping to take pictures and video of the damage here to the Rainbow Hardware store off of Harry Hines Boulevard. It's quite a mess. As you can see, I've been showing all morning long that the roof, it really just peeled off here, and it's in layers. There's the shingles, there's this soft tarp here, and then some foam board that really just tore apart in pieces, and it's really all scattered along this parking lot. I'll have a photographer kind of show you around here. It is a mess, as you can see, that foam board all over the parking lot here. Now, I got a chance to speak to the owners. They're in shock. They're sad, of course. This is a huge hit to them. They've been here since 2013. Let's give you a look inside if you missed us in the first half hour. It's dark inside of this huge hardware store, and here's what's left of the roof. All you can see is wood, plywood. It's also drenched, and you can really see the sky from some areas. Now, the entire floor, it's covered with water from the rain. Once again, we didn't walk around too much because it is wet, and then the electricity is an issue as well. I got a chance to speak to Pooja Sethi. She and her husband, they own this spot. She was actually driving to the store around 6 o'clock this morning when it started to pour, and then those straight line winds picked up as well. She said it was like something out of a movie.
This was the first scary experience I had ever, but I've seen in the movies. To be very honest, I've seen all this in the movies, and when I was driving, I was not sure whether I'll reach or no. It was too hard. So when I was standing outside also, my car was I thought that it will blow, it will go with the wind, but
But you know, she's just thankful that she's all right. As I said, she and her husband, they've been outside talking to us. They've been walking around the building, and they're in shock. They're sad. This is a major hit to their business. They're probably going to be out of business for a few months, they told me, because not only do they need to replace the roof here, but all of the supplies inside. So just a sad story there. But once again, they're just thankful that they're all right, because they were outside, they were here as those straight line winds picked up in the midst of that storm. Mark, I'm going to send it back to you. Quite a story out here.
It really is, Cleo, and thank you for bringing it to us. And we also want to share some video from Hearst. This is a Walmart there yesterday. The woman who shared this video says hail was falling through the roof of that store, causing it to break. May also have been that the hail kind of impacted some of the material inside there and caused that to fall as well. But you see people inside that Walmart in Hearst covering their heads as that precipitation fell as well.